Connections Officer, Bill Gerbyshak.
Thanks, Katie.
You bet.
All right, so quick show of hands, how many people are using some sort of social media to connect? Cool. All but 3 of you, good. So recent stat shows 95% of people are using some sort of social media. Could be Twitter, could be Facebook, could be anything. I found out last week that the fastest growing population using Twitter is 65 to 74 years old. Using Twitter. Blew me away. I thought about that and I thought, why is that true? Why is that true? And it came down to one thing. It's all about money. You connect with other people, you can make money. You connect with each other, you can make a life. So we're going to talk today about connecting with that. We're going to talk about how, old or young, you can use social media to connect. But I think it's important first that I offer some rules of engagement. So the first rule is real easy. If you suck, social media is going to make you suck faster. It's just frankly true. Okay? How many of you, quick show of hands, how many of you have that person on Facebook that shares absolutely everything that's inappropriate? Yeah. That's my mom. My mom, she's so sweet, bless her heart. She posted on my wall, let me know that there's a new experimental diabetes drug that I need to try. Thanks, Mom. That's really great. She also reminds me that I look really good for being fat. And the fact of the matter is that she'll like every single post I have, whether it's good or not. Hi, Mom, my cat just died. Like, I'm not even talking to her. She will post my stuff. Now, I love my mom, but when it comes to social media, she sucks. It's not her thing, okay? She has a Twitter account that she uses only to follow me. Yes, that's right. My mom signed up for text messaging via Twitter so that every time I tweet, she gets a little notification. So we'll be having lunch together, and I don't know about you, but I use a tool called Hootsuite so I don't just vomit 30 or 40 posts out at a time, right in a row. So I schedule them out, one here, one there, and her birthday was Sunday. We're having a wonderful time, and suddenly, boop, 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 you've got mail. I'm like, Mom, what's that? Oh, that's just you tweeting. I like to turn it up as loud as it goes, all the time. So all throughout lunch, I'm finding out that, yes, I am tweeting while we're having lunch. And my mom, she kind of sucks at social media, mostly because she doesn't know what she's doing. Now, on the other hand, we have people that suck using social media because they're mean. Anybody know that person that takes the time to complain about everybody and everything that goes wrong in their world using social media? Raise your hand if you've seen that person. Yeah. Now that they have social media, they have a voice. And they complain about absolutely everything. Now I'm going to give you a little secret. You don't have to unfriend them to stop listening. You can just hide them from your news feed. Now the problem is many businesses, this happens to them as well. Because they suck using social media. How do they suck? Well, they're not mean, and they're not my mom. So what do? How do they suck? Well, they post things like, hey, buy my stuff! Hey, I'm really awesome! Click this stuff! Hey, did I mention I'm really awesome? Businesses do that all the time. That is not how social media works. Social media is all about me, which means it's all about you. So to be a networking superhero, you have to focus on other people. And the best way, the fastest way to do that first is to connect others. Here's a bunch of other superheroes that you can connect to, that you can connect with. My friend Bill is a hyper-connector. He loves to connect people. Now before social media came along, Bill would have to get a business card from you, maybe get a business card from a couple people and be like, I wonder what they might have in common. Now, thanks to social media, you can put in one email address and you can find out where everybody is using social media. My favorite tool is a tool called Nimble. Nimble, nimble.com. It is fantastic. You put in an email address, every social media network that they're using, the big ones anyway, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google+, it'll show you their profiles. And it'll go out and search to see if they're there. And as they add more social media, they offer more connection ways. Now, why is that helpful? Because hopefully you know what their favorite social network is, because you see their updates. Now, just a hint, if somebody hasn't updated their Twitter profile in 2 years, that's not a place to connect with them. I'm not saying you don't add them as someone to listen to, but I am saying that's not where you make your connection time. So instead, find something that's been updated and connect there. And the best way is to connect them to other people that they need to know. So real quick, just 15 seconds, I want you to just picture in your mind 2 people that are in your network that you know need to connect. Just picture those people in your mind. Now think about how could you connect them. What would connect? They have something in common besides you. They have something that's important to them. Are they suppliers? Meeting planners? What do they need? What would make their day? Now write those 2 people's names down if you have a piece of paper. Just remember them. Maybe type them in your phone. And make a point today to connect them using whatever social media they like best. I can tell you my favorite way is using Twitter. It's fast, it's easy. In 140 characters, I don't have to think a lot. I also like to use LinkedIn. And you know, LinkedIn now allows you to tag people. So think about how you could tag someone in your status so they come pay attention to you, and yet you connect 2 people. Really quick, connecting people really matters, and that's a superhero. It's not someone who does stuff for them, it's someone who does it for other people. So another rule here. I gave you one, here's another one. Just because you're unique doesn't make you useful. Anybody going to try to eat with that fork? Probably not. But a lot of times we think we've got these special gifts and nobody else uses them. Nobody else needs them. So you got something else. What is it? What's your special gift? Is it useful or is it just unique? Now to you, that's probably a great gift. So I would encourage you to share that. But don't necessarily use that to connect with others. Don't necessarily use that to connect with others, but use that instead to allow others to connect with you. To allow others to connect with you. The cool thing now is that there's a social network for absolutely everybody. Have you seen the new website? Fat white guys wearing Google glasses? It's pretty bad. Imagine me in the shower with glasses on. You probably don't want to see that, but Robert Scoble and other guys are wearing glasses in the shower. Now you might say, well, who cares? This website's gotten several 100,000 visitors. Somebody is interested in that. Not me, probably not you, but somebody is interested. Somebody's interested in that. But that's not useful. That's not useful. So think about that. Think about your special gift, okay? So my next point, my next tip, is all about connection. It starts with happy birthday. How many of you have a birthday? Raise your hand. Okay, most people. Good. That's good. So, how many of you know that Facebook shows whose birthday it is? Yeah, you know that? You know, with Google+, you have to include your birthday. To have a Gmail account, to have a Google Plus account, you have to include your birthday. So if you think you're smart and you hide your birthday on Facebook, you don't hide it on Google Plus, you're not really hiding it. So I want to tell you, connections start with happy birthday. My birthday is in December 2nd to be truthful. If you want to send gifts, I'm downtown Milwaukee, just come visit. It's all good. This year, I got 437 Facebook friends posted on my wall, happy birthday, Phil! Everything from HBD, which is like no big deal, right? All the way to something much more meaningful. 437 people. Now just to give you I'm not bragging, but just to give you some perspective, this is what I do social media. Okay, so I have about 2,500 friends on Facebook. This is what I do. I share tips there so people friend me. Okay? 437. How many people do you think sent me a physical birthday card? Got a guess?
Your mom.
No, Mom posted on my wall. Nice try. Nope. Not Mom. Nope. One card for my brother in Seattle, only because he hates social media. Yeah. One physical birthday card. I remember that because it was one. One card. So you want to connect with someone? Don't post it on the Facebook wall. Send them a card. Go one step further. If you have their phone number, call them. Pick up the phone and call. Now why? You remember at the beginning I talked about social media is money. I have a buddy of mine, his name is Steve. That's not real descriptive, that's on purpose. His name is Steve. Steve is now the executive vice president for a credit card company out east. Steve used to be a guy that used to work down in Racine. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, but Steve moved away. I've not seen Steve in 3 or 4 years. Every year, guess what? Steve has a birthday. Every year, I call Steve and wish him a happy birthday. He stays connected to me on social media. He never responds to emails. He doesn't typically respond to tweets, even though he's on there. But Steve has a birthday, and I called him. And I didn't even leave a message. I called him, and then I realized he's out east, and I just called him at midnight. So I hung up my phone. 3 days later, Steve calls. He says, "Hey, how you doing? I see you called." I'm like, "Good." We caught up. We spent 10 or 15 minutes on the phone. No big deal. "Hey, I might come back to Milwaukee in a couple months. Great, hope to see you, blah, blah, blah." Fast forward another year. Hadn't seen Steve. Right before his birthday, he calls me, "Hey, Phil, you know this company I'm working for? We've got a $30 million social media budget, and we're wondering if you might be interested in a piece of that." No, thanks. Okay, so, happy birthday. Pick up the phone. Call people. It starts the connection. I'm not telling you that's the only time of year to call people. I'm not telling you that's the only time of year to send them a card. In fact, I encourage you, find other connection points. Take a look. In fact, if you go online and Google weird holidays, you can send a card for National Jelly Bean Day, for National Ice Cream Day, which was last week, or recognize their profession, or anything else. But it starts with happy birthday and thinking, putting people top of mind. Very, very simple. But there's one last thing that you need to know. One more thing you have to know. This is the absolute key to social media. Okay? You need to know that everybody has a sign. It's on their head. Do you see it? It's on mine. Look around. Everybody's got it. Holding it up. It's just got a couple letters on it. Just a couple things. What the heck does that mean?
What's in it
What's
for me?
in it for me? That's the question that everybody wants to know the answer to. When you're using social media, I want to encourage you, if you can focus on one thing, and that is what's in it for them instead of you. Turn social media into social udia. You can be a networking superhero. Thanks.